This is a BMW M6 powered by one of the greatest engines BMW has ever produced, the S85 V10.
This is a motorsport-inspired, naturally aspirated, high-revving monster. But there is something very, very special about this car.
Because this is the first M6 in the world that is running a fully functional dual-clutch transmission.
Now, if you're not familiar with BMWs, you may not know that the biggest issue with these cars is the SMG gearbox. It is clunky, it's slow, and let's be honest, it is a bit tragic compared to what this engine really deserves. BMW almost put a dual clutch transmission in an M5 CSL back in the day, but for some reason, they just didn't. No one, not even BMW, has ever managed to make a DCT work with an S85 V10. Until now.
So, why do so many people prefer DCT to SMG? Think of SMG like a manual transmission, but a computer is pressing the clutch and shifting for you. It's normally found in older BMW M cars like the E46 M3 and the E60 M5, and it can feel jerky and slow, especially compared to modern automatics. It's also well known for not being the most reliable. Despite being over 15 years old now, the DCT is way more advanced. It has two clutches, one for even gears and one for odd gears, so it can pre-select the next gear and shift almost instantly. BMW started using a DCT in the E92 M3 and only stopped using it a few years ago. It's smoother, faster, and much more reliable than an SMG. This is Tuning Boffin Peter. He has spent over 6 years and thousands of hours making this happen. This isn't some dodgy gearbox swap. This is properly integrated using BMW software for the first time ever. So how exactly has he managed to do it?
The gearbox itself will bolt onto the engine, no problem at all. The main issues are shortening the prop shaft so that it's the correct length, and then all the wiring issues as well. So that'll be getting the stock TCU to talk to the ECU. That does work just by bolting it on and wiring everything together, but the only thing that works is the upshifts. The downshifts don't have a blip function in the stock ECU.
Me and Edwin have been watching and waiting for clips of DCT V10s, and every time he goes, bah, 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 and then video cuts. And then it's just comments going, what about those downshifts?
The E92 M3 came from the factory with a DCT transmission. It also has a V8 engine that's very closely related to the V10 found in the M5 and M6. So in theory, swapping a DCT into an M5 or M6 should be simple, right?
An E92 M3 is a small block of data that controls the downshifts and upshifts and all rev matching stuff. With that missing from the M6, you then have to get an embedded engineer to copy the data from the E92 M3 ECU, which is MSS60, and put it into MSS65. By doing that, and getting everything talking correctly, getting all the immobilizers working correctly, it then downshifts.
Basically, an embedded engineer is someone who designs and programs tiny computers that control devices. This can be in anything from washing machines to medical devices. In this case, they have to enable a car's ECU, the brain of the car, to handle new functions. So here, the ECU needs custom programming to understand how to execute proper downshifts with the DCT, and that isn't easy or cheap.
They're not a tuner. They don't really know engines per se, but they know software and binary and all that sort of stuff. So they can create functions, and that is their sole job, essentially.
And is that expensive?
For that ECU, it costs about €6,000.
You might think that once this custom programming exists, you could just copy it over to any other M5 or M6, but so far, that hasn't been possible. However, Peter believes he can make it work.
It's a reread unit ECU, bench the ECU, and try replicating it onto another ECU. Yeah. If I can do that, and we then take the second ECU we've got, put it into Nuno's car, and it starts, then we should be able to do it and sell it commercially.
Do you want a tip? Command C.
Command C,
Command V, yeah.
That said, he does have some concerns that years of hard work could be stolen.
In this industry, theft is rife. It's happened to me many times before, so I'm very nervous about replicating it for other people. We still get messages weekly from people all over the world where they want to just fly us over to do the conversions for them. I want to make it work so bad because it's such a cool thing to do, but I've got to protect it.
Now, we've been saying this is the first fully functional DCT swapped M6, and technically DCT conversions have been done before, but those cars use aftermarket ECUs and TCUs, which means they lose a ton of factory functionality.
From what we can gather, from what we're reading online and doing it for so long, we still think that the first one's doing it on a stock ECU and TCU. Nuna's car looks like a track car, but it's not. It's got some sphericals and stuff like that to make a fast BMW. It's not a race car. So it still has all the standard clocks, all the stock ECU, TCU, all the ABS system all works correctly.
How long have you been working on doing this swap?
On this swap since 2019, we probably formulated it a bit earlier than that.
So 6 years to get a gearbox to work with an engine.
I have spent many, many hours. It's going to be in the thousands and thousands, maybe in tens of thousands of hours over the years. I've got a newborn kid as well, and just didn't see her in the first few months. I was just trying to get this working before our trip to Portimao, but it all went well.
Now, the M6 has had years of problems sorted out on it. But if you want to find out issues with your own car at home, you should check out this week's sponsor, Carly.
Carly gives you manufacturer-level diagnostics to help you check your car's health and unlock hidden features.
Now, when people start mentioning diagnostics, that might sound a little bit scary. You might think of wiring and ECUs and just messing things up. Now, with Carly, it's actually not that bad. All you have to do is take your dongle, and then you find your OBD2 port, you plug it in under the dashboard, and then you just need to connect it to your phone, and we'll go from there.
Now, here we have Josh's 330 Ci from our merch team. Now, this car doesn't technically have any codes on the dash, but we're still going to give the car a health check and see if any are stored in the system. We just go onto diagnostics and check for issues. And now if we click results, we've got a couple of codes to look through. At some point, there's been an issue with the mirror motor. It might be with it folding in or doing something like that. So something to keep an eye on, and maybe if there are any faults, take a note of this code, maybe keep it so that if anything does develop, you know you've got that stored. But not only can we find out the issues, we can also add secret hidden features.
Now, someone has previously coded in US side markers to this car. So that means that the indicator lights are constantly on, and then they obviously flash when you indicate. But Josh doesn't want that anymore, and he wants to change it. So we're going to change it for him. So we've got side markers US, currently says on. We're going to switch that to off. Then we're going to code the car. And there we go. Coding was successful. So now let's test it out. So that's the lights on. There we go. It's as easy as that.
So if you want to take back control of your car's diagnostics and unlock some helpful hidden features, then Carly is the app for you.
So make sure you use code TDC15 for 15% off at checkout. Now let's get back to that M6. Right, so this is Nuno. This is your car.
This is
your vision, kind of. Now you've known Peter a long, long time, but where did it start?
2013. I posted a photo in our WhatsApp group chat of an Interlagos Blue M6 for sale, and one of our friends, Chris, said, "Bet you won't." That company that had the Interlagos Blue car for sale went bust during the handover. So we never got the car. I ended up buying a Silverstone Blue M6. It was actually stolen. So my M6 ownership up till then was terrible. So then 2017 came along. We purchased what is now the race car, known as the race car, with the idea to DCT swap that M6. 2022 came along and I just thought, we've spent too many years trying to DCT swap this car. So I sold the engine, sold the gearbox, and then last year I was on holiday in the summer, sat down with my brother drinking a Red Bull, and I said, "What's on eBay?"
Dangerous game to play.
And he sends me a link to this black M6 that was at like £7,000, couple of days left on bid. I was like, watch that. He just sent me a screenshot with the congratulations, you've highest bid or whatever. And I was like, ah! The SMG decided to die on me. And then Peter came into my life, slid into my DMs like you've never seen. It was, still had loads of bits from the race car sat around. So I bolted it all up and left it to Peter, and then one night Peter came through. In one of the videos that you might even be able to see in our channel, shameless plug, Peter leaves to go home. Half an hour later, he came back because he thought of something on his drive home. And that was the actual night that we started getting the downshifts to hit the target requirement. A couple more days later, a few more nights on it, a bit more, and then we got to a point where I was just out and about driving it.
So can you walk us through, obviously it started out as a carbon black car.
It's carbon black.
It is now
Atlantis blue.
It's probably our least favourite colour. So we were like, we can't say anything when we get here.
That's okay.
But somehow it really, really works.
It might be the sunshine.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got the Intrax, we've got the AP Racing Pro 5000R brakes on the front. We have the BBS wheels. We've got Yokohama tyres. Everything's solid bushed. The diff's solid bushed, the subframe's solid bushed. Camber adjustable at the front, camber adjustable at the rear. We've got the Recaro SPA carbon Kevlar seats.
I was going to say, no, it was nice enough to say, you know what, you guys, Calm down. You guys have been talking about this for a long time. Calm down. But we are quite worried about that. We're very fat, so this is going to be an issue for us. But you know what? I'd happily sit on an upside down bucket and drive this car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Saddle belt harnesses, 6-point. We've still got normal seat belts as well. The steering wheel is just Alcantara trimmed.
There's something very special though. We mentioned at some point that we'd love to try the car. We said kind of offhandedly on the podcast, it's quite quiet though. If I'm correct, that's a straight pipe.
One of the obstacles we've had in the last couple of months on the internet is everyone saying, we can't really hear it.
Yeah.
Does it really work? There's no X-pipe or anything. It's just literally 2 straight pipes from the manifolds back. We've still got the main cats in manifold on these, so as far as emissions are concerned, we're good. But it's literally 3-inch straight manifolds back, both sides. It sounds horrific.
You did invite us down here to have a go. So shall we?
I think we shall. I'm a bit nervous. Right, so before we drive the M6, we just wanted to let you know that we are hosting an event at Bicester Heritage on April the 12th.
There's going to be all of our cars there, a load of friends' cars, even the M6 DCT in this video should be there.
So make sure you check out the link in the description to get your tickets, and we'll see you there.
After deciding who would drive first, the only way that we knew how,
Yes.
yes, we got ready to go out in the M6, but immediately ran into a huge issue. These seats are bolted to the floor. There's no sliders, there's no movement. So I'm gonna force myself into this no matter what. Oh, that's tough already. It's tough to see.
I think it's good. He looks good. He looks good.
Oh God. Oh, what's that in my back? Oh no, that's tough. Oh, I'm in. And it's simply as easy as grabbing the seatbelt. Oh no, the steering wheel's not, I can't change it. I'm not joking, I can't really drive it. My foot is stuck. If I move my foot to the right, that's what I can do. You know what, I can sit on the seat. Do you have a cushion? Yeah. Because now my feet fit. It's when if I slip my arse in, then I'm done. But now I've got brakes and accelerator.
Do you have a cushion? He asks the tuner.
Having stolen the passenger seat cushioning so that my legs could actually fit on the pedals. Oh, it's going to be tough, but we're good. It was time to drive the car that we'd both been dreaming about for years, and it really didn't disappoint. Hold on, here we go. It does it! Sorry. That's better than I could have ever imagined.
There are going to be people saying, oh, but it'd be better if it was a manual. Have a listen to that.
Oh my God! If you're a BMW hater and you're in the comments always, another BMW, understand I truly mean this when I say this. I don't care. This is a dream drive and dream car. I just don't care.
You can at least appreciate how long it has taken a group of friends. Peter's already said the business is almost separate to this. He's saying, this is me and a mate and some other friends going, let's make this work. No one's ever done it before.
No one can.
But we're going to give it a go.
When I won that rock, paper, scissors, I was instantly happy, and then Nuno handed me the keys, and I was really scared. You can tell this is a passion project. He absolutely loves this car, and I just don't want to hurt it.
Also, it's very, very expensive.
Really quite
It's cost
expensive.
over £10,000 just to get the gearbox working. The wheels alone are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
This car hadn't been fully painted as well,
Yeah.
but you've got to enjoy the moment.
Oh, come on.
It's fast. You've driven an E60 M5. How does this compare to that?
This could not be more different. I'm not going to say disappointed when I drove that car, but there was an element of, I see what they were talking about. But this, everything's perfect.
With Edwin having experienced this decade-long dream come true, it was my turn behind the wheel.
DCT is quite old, but they are lightning fast shifts. There'll be journalists out there going, well, actually, the modern DCT gearbox is 3 eyelashes faster. But I don't care, that is a rapid shift.
I I don't care what you say, V10s are the best car noise on earth for me. This with this gearbox, a Carrera GT and an LFA, those are the guys.
You just want, I'm just gonna go up a gear. Ah! Hell!
Is it dead?
No, it jumped out of the way.
Lovely.
I might be dead inside.
That was close. So, not really a question for us, but was the years of their lives worth it to make this happen?
This is 100% worth it. To do something that hasn't been done is cool. It's not simple, it's not a straight swap. It's just cool that someone has bothered to put in the time and the money to do that.
Go on then, send it one more time. Thank you very much to not only Peter, but also Nuno. Check out RatDog, their YouTube channel is in the description.
If you want to watch where we drove an E92 M3 supercharged and Edwin was in a TVR Tuscan, you can watch that here, and we'll see you next week.